It's hardly a groundbreaking statement to say that Grand Theft Auto V is one of the most iconic video games of all time, and since its release in 2013, it has sold over 185 million copies worldwide, making it the second best-selling video game in history. And with the release of the enhanced and expanded version for the PS5 and the Series X, it's clear that the game still has plenty of life left in it, even with GTA 6 on the very distant horizon. I'm going to be diving deep into the story mode of GTA 5, unpacking the game's plot, characters and gameplay mechanics, but I won't be touching on the online aspect of GTA 5 because this is my video and I just don't want to. I'll also be sharing my thoughts on the game's strengths and weaknesses and whether or not it's worth playing in 2023, so buckle up and get ready to take a ride through the criminal underworld of Los Santos.
Mine ain't nothing special, but this boy gets the job done.
Grand Theft Auto V is undoubtedly one of the most influential video games of all time. Released in 2013 by Rockstar Games, it quickly became a sensation, captivating millions of players worldwide with its immersive gameplay and sprawling open-world environment. GTA 5 takes place in the fictional city of Los Santos, which is a vast metropolis inspired by Los Angeles. The game features a truly gripping story mode that follows the lives of three main protagonists: Michael DeSanta, a retired bank robber trying to escape his criminal past; Franklin Clinton, a young and ambitious gangster looking for opportunities; and Trevor Phillips, an unhinged, totally unpredictable and volatile character with a penchant for chaos. The narrative of GTA 5's story mode is intricately woven, filled with enthralling heists, unexpected twists, and a cast of diverse and unforgettable characters. As you progress through the game, you're confronted with moral dilemmas, complex relationships, and a world filled with crime, corruption, and the constant pursuit of power. But what sets GTA 5 apart from other games is its unparalleled attention to detail and the sheer scope of its open-world environment. Los Santos evokes the visceral feeling that it really is a living and breathing city, bustling with pedestrians, traffic, and countless activities to engage in. You could choose to participate in a few street races, have a round of golf, or simply enjoy a leisurely bike ride along the picturesque coastline before sinking a few bevies in the strip club. There is a multitude of possibilities. GTA 5's story mode was a mammoth of a task for Rockstar to undertake, with just one of the characters out of Michael, Franklin, or Trevor being enough narrative for a game alone, but all three combined provide an intricate plotline that's dense with the highest standard of writing. Once you've reached a good few hours into GTA 5, all three of these characters will have been introduced to you, and at this point between missions you can freely hop in and hop out of control of these characters. Each has their own personality traits, of course, as well as specific strengths during the gameplay. Franklin is a streetwise hustler with a good heart who also has the ability to drive in slow motion for a certain period of time, making him the perfect getaway driver. Michael was a professional athlete who has lost his way, finding himself in witness protection. He tries and mostly fails at anchoring down his dysfunctional family to some form of normality, with himself usually being the catalyst to their dysfunctionality. Michael's special ability is also slow motion based mechanic like Franklin, except specifically for combat, making Michael the perfect dead-eyed assassin during combat. Trevor is a volatile, highly complex, bipolar, murderous psychopath that leaves a sadistic, tyrannical, and yet somehow hilarious trail of death and destruction in his wake. Trevor's special ability is Rampage mode, with a visible red mist clouding the screen, making him a one-man wrecking ball, hitting harder and absorbing an obscene amount of damage in the process. This multi-character unique approach not only provides a fresh perspective on the narrative, but also adds depth and complexity to the overall gameplay experience. Each character has their own set of missions and personal storylines to play, which intertwine and intersect with one another as the story unravels. Now, this creates such a tangible sense of cohesion and continuity as players navigate through a web of criminal activities, heists, and personal struggles. The attention to detail in character development is just truly exceptional, with with each protagonist having their own unique personalities, quirks and motivations. What sets GTA 5's narrative apart compared to so many AAA games is its ability to engage players on such a deep and impactful emotional level. The game tackles themes of loyalty, betrayal and the pursuit of the American dream whilst delving into the dark underbelly of society. The narrative is filled with intense moments that evoke the player to walk the full spectrum of emotions, from heart-pounding action sequences to thought-provoking moral dilemmas. The choices players make throughout the game have consequences, shaping the direction of the story and influencing the fate of the characters involved. Character development and voice acting play a crucial role in any story-driven game, and GTA 5 is no exception of course. Rockstar have always been known for its immersive storytelling, and GTA 5 is arguably Rockstar's finest hour. The voice acting in GTA 5 is truly top-tier stuff, with the ridiculously talented actors bringing these characters to life. The performances by Ned Luke, who's Michael, Sean Fonteno, Franklin and Stephen Ogg in particular, who's Trevor, are exceptional, capturing the essence of their respective characters with the disturbing depth and authenticity that you're really hoping for. The chemistry between the characters is evident, creating a believable dynamic that enhances the overall storytelling experience. While the voice acting is impressive, there are the very odd and occasional moments when the writing falls a little bit short, namely in the side missions, which leads to weaker performances here and there. Some dialogues may come across as cliche or forced, which can momentarily break the immersion, but I can't stress the word momentarily enough there. Additionally, certain character arcs could have been further explored and developed, but I'll put that down to how good these characters are and my greed for wanting to know more about them. Nevertheless, the strengths of the characters' development and voice acting in GTA 5 totally outweigh these minor weaknesses that I'm basically nitpicking at. The performances and well-crafted personalities of the main protagonists contribute to a genuinely engaging and emotionally driven story. GTA 5 story mode is a lengthy and intricate experience that will take you around 80 hours to complete, with a variety of delightfully mind-boggling side missions that are known as stranger missions. These will introduce you to some eccentrically and oddly palatable characters that are more than worthy of your time. On top of this, there's a multitude of challenges you can undertake to make the game even more challenging. Rockstar has done an amazing job with GTA 5's story mode, length, and the overall pacing of the narrative. There's only really two main gameplay mechanics of Grand Theft Auto 5, and that's driving and shooting. With the vast open world environment, players are granted the freedom to explore the sprawling city of Los Santos and its surrounding areas at their own leisure. The driving mechanics of GTA 5 are unrivaled. I'm constantly comparing other open world driving games to GTA. Games like Just Cause, Mafia and Saints Row, just to name a few, don't even come close to the pure satisfaction I get from the multitude of vehicles I have at my disposal and how vastly differing they all feel to navigate through the streets of Los Santos. There's an almost impeccable balance of realism that you'll only get from a Forza or a Gran Turismo, and yet there's still an equal dose of that unrealistically arcadey feel that you get from drifting around corners in Mario Kart. The driving mechanics are polished to perfection, with believably responsive controls depending on the vehicle that you're controlling, and smooth animations when screeching around corners, or the metal twisting collision physics that all make every single action behind the wheel feel fluid and natural. This isn't just applicable when you're driving high-speed vehicles either. Piloting a helicopter through the city skyline, slowly negotiating the depths of the Pacific Ocean in a submarine, or bursting through the Los Santos clouds in a supremely nimble and devastatingly powerful fighter jet. All of the vehicle's controls are intuitive and immensely satisfying. With no open-world driving game mechanics standing toe-to-toe with GTA 5, the same can't be said about the shooting mechanics. I think the base shooting mechanics are holding up reasonably well since 2013, but I think there's numerous third-person cover shooters out there now that feel and play more fluidly compared to GTA 5, but they certainly aren't bad mechanics. The two special abilities of Michael's slow-mo and Trevor's rampage drastically improve the satisfaction levels, and I'd even argue changing the aim assist to free aim can spice things up a little bit, instead of the aim assist getting a little tiring after your 450th enemy lock-on, flicking the right stick up a touch and nailing a headshot every time. The health balancing in combat is spot on though, with a happy medium between not having overly spongy enemies or enemies that are just dropped too easily. This goes up against one of either three main protagonists' health, and this whole balancing act with the missions, scripted scenarios, all feel exactly where they should be to keep each combat feeling intense enough for a challenge while still being cinematically immersive. It should be mentioned that all the gameplay you're seeing is totally vanilla with no visual mods installed. Graphics and visuals have always been a big part of the games Rockstar develop, with very differing styles that could arguably be down to technological differences between the time of their releases or simply artistic choices. From the arcade style and top-down view seen in the early GTAs, to the blocky cartoon look of GTA 3, through to GTA San Andreas, and then GTA 5 opting for a much more realistic vibe, which is an even more prudent approach with LA Noire and the Red Dead series, for example. None of these styles disappoint in their own right, but the atmospheric attention to detail in this world can only really be matched by Red Dead Redemption, which technically falls under visuals, but both GTA 5's and Red Dead 2's worlds stand head and shoulders above all other worlds when it comes to the sheer level of overall detail. These worlds are just a visual feast, from the weather physics all affecting the environment in their relevant ways to the abundance of variety in the asset design. There's just something that truly feels handcrafted about these two worlds, that while every step you take through them is a somewhat scripted step, I never once felt a single moment of inevitability when free roaming. There is still one glaring issue when it comes to GTA 5's visuals though, and that's the shadows. Picking between Nvidia's, AMD's, one of Rockstar's homebrewed shadow effects, or extending the long shadows to the max, none of these really alleviated the ugly shadow cascade fading way too close to the character, and it was something I just had to get used to. Outside of this, GTA 5 is still a visual spectacle over a decade since it released. When it comes to the mission design and variety in GTA 5 story mode, you're in for a treat. Rockstar Games totally outshone their previous work, creating a vast and immersive world filled with a wide range of missions and mechanics that are unique to certain missions that will keep the players engaged and excited throughout the story. Each mission feels meticulously crafted with unique objectives, settings, and characters that add depth to the overall narrative and gameplay. You could be enacting your methodically planned heist that will play out in varying ways depending on the choices you make on the plan's drawing board. You could be engaged in a brutally intense moment of gang warfare, or embarking on some sweaty palm, adrenaline-pumping chase sequences. The outrageous variety of missions and mechanics within ensures that gameplay never feels repetitive or monotonous. The freedom of choice is another aspect that adds to the overall diversity of gameplay. Being presented with multiple approaches to complete a mission not only allows you to tailor the mission to your preferred style, whether you prefer a stealthy approach, going in guns blazing, or employing strategic planning, this also adds a layer of replayability to GTA 5, which even since 2013, I've still not played every mission out in every way possible. Even after completing the game, I've spent hours and hours studying the stock markets and the impact my actions can have on the market, after calculating which stock would be best to dump all my hard-earned heist money into, and then sit back, or in GTA 5's case, go to sleep, and wake up and watch the pennies come tumbling into my bank account. Such a fulfilling post-game idea. The freedom of choices don't stop there though. The level of customization afforded to you is just brilliant. Grand Theft Auto 5 offers a plethora of customization options outside of the multiple branching storylines, allowing players to shape their own unique experiences. A lot of games allow the player to change clothes or give a vehicle a new lick of paint, but these customization options go above and beyond. Not only is there a range of clothes shops for the characters to browse through, each providing a specific fashion style to don, and not only can you pimp out your ride to a standard exhibit would be getting rowdy over, these customization options can even influence your gameplay experience, with certain NPCs passing a comment depending on your attire, or the ability to escape the long-reaching arm of the law because you were wise enough to install some bulletproof tires on your getaway car. It's this level of detail and freedom that stands GTA 5 above the wannabes. When it comes to immersing yourself in the world of GTA 5 story mode, the soundtrack and audio effects play a significant role in enhancing the overall gameplay experience. Rockstar Games has always been renowned for its attention to detail, and the audio department is no exception. From the moment you load up the game, you're greeted with a window smash and sirens, just a little taste of audio effects that are going to be on offer. The ambient sounds and audio effects in the game are fantastically crafted to create such an encompassing environment. The bustling city streets are filled with the sounds of car horns, police sirens, and conversations of pedestrians, adding another believable layer of realism to the gameplay, as if it even needed one. This is supported by the diverse soundtrack that perfectly complements the fast-paced action and white-knuckle missions. The radio stations in GTA 5 are incredibly well curated, offering an eclectic range of genres to suit every player's taste. Whether you're cruising through the streets of Los Santos in a stolen sports car or embarking on an adrenaline-fueled chase, the radio stations provide the perfect backdrop. I'm consistently consistently immersed in the role of these three characters that I always just find myself stereotyping them and tuning into the stations each of the three personalities would likely choose. Since 2013, I've spent over 1,000 hours of immensely gratifying gameplay and immersion in the vast open world of Los Santos, making it without doubt one of the greatest games of all time. Red Dead 2 and GTA 5 stand shoulder to shoulder for me, albeit very different worlds, but for very similar reasons that could be considered the Rockstar calling card. GTA 5 is a masterpiece in every sense of the word.